So we know at least the initial phases of the Messianic Era, which our prophets foretold, is basically just a world of bounty where, first of all, we should explain that in the Messianic Era, which our prophets foretold, there's no war, there's not even competition. Why? Because the corrupt nature of humanity is healed. Everyone lives only to serve God and do God's will. Everyone becomes enlightened, so to speak. And when everyone is living in a selfless way, so there's no corruption. I mean, today we have enough food to feed everyone in the world. Nobody needs to be hungry. So then why are people hungry? Only because of corruption, which causes the misappropriation of resources. We have enough resources. It's simple corruption that causes any famine today in 2025, and at least for the past few decades, how advanced technology is, how advanced agriculture is. Any scarcity today is man-made through corruption, either intentionally creating scarcity or accidentally creating scarcity as a byproduct of some silly competition or jockeying for power or, hoarding resources. At any rate, when Moshiach comes and the world is perfected and everyone has everything they need, so you're still going to need to go get a loaf of bread. You're not going to stand out in the sun and photosynthesize like a plant. You're still going to need a house to live in, right? So where's that going to come from? Things are still going to exist. Stuff is still going to exist. But the point is that there's going to be so much of it, or as Maimonides says, that in the Messianic Era, that kol hamadonim, all of the delicacies, I don't know what's a delicacy.
Cheese Danish.
Cheese Danish. Yeah. Are going to be matsuyim ka'afar. Literally, they're going to be as readily found as dust. So just like there's no scarcity of dust, it has no value, supply and demand. There's no real scarcity of dust, so there's no real demand for it either. So there's, it's free. You can get dust for free, and it's everywhere. So all the delicacies are going to be like dust, meaning, just everything will be whatever you need, you'll have. So at that point, what will money even mean? We've been talking a lot about people using money to measure things that money really has nothing to do with. Like money really is for accomplishing things. Instead, we spoke about people using money like for a sense of self, for a sense of identity, right? And how much money I have, that's how much sense of identity I have. So they're using money to measure stuff that really money has nothing to do with. So in a perfected world, in an ideal world, in a heaven on earth type scenario, like the Messianic Era, no one's going to have that desire, that false sense of self. And so money will not have that purpose anymore. No one would use money for that. What will they use? If people still use money, what will they use it for? They'll only use it for accomplishing things. Only use it for doing good. But it won't have any of that meaning that we attach to it. It'll be a whole different psychology surrounding money. But will money exist? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But, will financial instruments exist? I don't know. But things will still exist. We'll still be souls and bodies. We're not talking about something that happens in another realm of existence. It's here in the physical world. So stuff will still exist, but you're not going to be attached to it in that way. You're not going to attribute importance to it that way. It will have a much more practical attitude toward all physical things.
That indeed does sound enlightening.
Yeah, well, it's enlightened. That's the enlightened attitude toward physical stuff. And by the way, you don't have to wait for the Messianic Era. You can have that enlightened attitude now. Why not? You can have a healthy attitude toward physical things now.